I wonder if you're lagging a bit. I might just disconnect you.
No, I think I wasn't actually paying attention to you.
Oh.
Sorry, no, I know what you're saying because it took me a while to respond. That's just me not responding.
Okay, let's do it then. Dun, 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 dun. Welcome back to the Rewind Classic Movies podcast about movies we probably saw as kids, even if we weren't old enough to understand the adult themes. I'm GB, and with me is my co-host, AJ.
Yes, I'm AJ, and I'm here in my parents' garden, as you do, to talk about a film about the future where TV kills you for ratings. So basically, what happens when engagement becomes literal? It's like the BBC, but you can't complain to points of view.
I wonder how many people have recorded a podcast from the garden of their Greek parents' house.
Right? I mean, you
Minimal.
can't see this at the moment, but I've got a Christmas tree here, and I appreciate that possibly when this goes out, it will no longer be Christmas. But I hope viewers can appreciate that it was recorded over Christmas time. And what I've done is I've dragged this Christmas tree out from the front of my parents' house, dragged it out here, and put it on the table outside, and I've sort of lit up the shed, and what I've done, even my phone that I'm recording this from is balancing on top of a 10-litre Cala gas tank.
So what you're saying is you put more effort into setting up your garden than you have researching the movie.
Took me about an hour to set this up. I won't lie. I've got an extension cable running around here. I've got XLRs trailing everywhere. I've gone to town on this.
And you're early as well. You're early for the recording.
And I'm early. Do you know what? I've got It's amazing. It's amazing.
What have you been up to then since we last did one of these?
Quite a bit. We've watched the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy on Netflix.
Oh God!
Because that's on Netflix. It's quite long. Takes
That's
a while.
About a week.
It is because we can't do it in one sitting. Just don't have the time.
No, I don't think anyone can. It's so fucking long.
And that's the Return of the King's 3 hours, and that's just the ordinary theatrical release. That's not the 10-hour director's cut. I
know some of our Patreons like the extended versions and then watching all the DVD bonus features.
I know that one of them had mentioned watching Lord of the Rings at Christmas time, and I thought, well, now it's on Netflix and it's just been put up, I'll watch it. We'll watch it. So we watched it as a family, and I haven't seen it in years, to be honest. Probably not since I had it on DVD. That sort of like 20 billion DVD box set that happens. So yeah, been watching that.
I've got to watch the Star Wars trilogy this Christmas, so that's my viewing to come.
I'll tell you what I did do. I watched a film called The Roses, which I think is a sort of retelling of the War of the Roses. Do you remember that film?
No.
Okay, it's on Netflix, I think, or on Disney, one of the streaming services. Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman, and it's supposed to be set in California, but it's all Devon. And it's funny because I was like, well, I know these places. Like, I surf there, and I've walked up those stairs. That's not California because I've never been there. So I was looking it up, and they filmed it all in Devon, which is quite funny.
God. Aside from watching both Running Men back to back, I watched, because it's no longer the F1 season, I decided to rewatch the F1 movie.
I've not seen that.
Cinema. I saw it in cinema and was a bit disappointed, but now I sort of know what it was going to be. I quite enjoyed it, I have to say. And I've been watching the Apple TV show Pluribus. Have you heard of that?
I've seen it advertised. Is it any good?
It is really good. It's from the guy that did, he wrote some X-Files stuff, and he did Breaking Bad and all that kind of thing. So yeah, it's really interesting about sort of aliens that take over the world, but not in the way you'd ever sort of seen before. It's great.
Okay, interesting. I watched the latest Glass Onion. Well, it was on last night while I was writing the notes to this, to be fair.
Is that Death Becomes Him or something like that?
Oh, man, it is. And
the new one?
The new one. Again on
blimey.
Netflix.
Not sponsored.
Not at all. But, it's on Netflix. And we watched it last night, but I managed 20 minutes, maybe half an hour before I lost interest. And I was writing the notes to this. I maybe I need to sit down and watch it a bit better and give it the time. But here's the thing. I was talking earlier about, set in California but filmed in Devon. This was filmed, set in somewhere in America, filmed in Suffolk or Sussex. All filmed in the UK.
Blimey.
So there must be something going on with the tax breaks recently. For all these,
Well,
Netflix are like, oh, we're going to film in the UK because it's cheap.
I don't want to jump to conclusions and suspect that one man is responsible for this.
Right.
You can probably take your own guesses.
I know.
So we're going to set the scene a little bit. It's 1987. Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up is ruling the charts. We've also got, wait for this, U2's The Joshua Tree, Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, and Michael Jackson's Bad. What a fucking year for music.
Wow. Was that all 87? That's crazy.
87. Yep.
Wow.
And then the stock market gets hit on Black Monday. The Cold War sort of begins to wind down with the signing of the INF Treaty. And the world gets Windows 2.0. Not forgetting that 87 was the year we got RoboCop, Predator, and Lethal Weapon.
That makes me feel... I'm not sure how that makes me feel, to be honest.
I mean, you can't... I don't want to be like all nostalgic and like everything was better back in the old days, but when can you say that we had like 3 great movies like that in one year now?
Right.
Let alone 3 great albums. But anyway, it's all subjective, and we are just old.
I mean, totally. No, God, that's just... You have blown me away with those facts, actually. Because, all right, don't get me wrong, I was 1 in 87, you know? But like, Bad and... all those albums you've just mentioned have been such a part of my life. And I kind of want to say that, oh, yeah, I grew up with those albums, but actually they were released when I couldn't, I just shit myself. Basically.
Anyway, Running Man, 1987. Directed by Paul Michael Glaser, best known at the time as half of Starsky and Hutch, and who would later go on to direct no movies you've heard of.
Man.
Unless you've heard of The Cutting Edge in 1992, The Air Up There 1994, or Kazam 1996.
Yeah, which was Shaq O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal.
I remember watching like maybe half of it at some point when I was young, and that's about it.
The Running Man cost $27 million to make and was a loose, heavily sanitised adaptation of Stephen King's novel written under the pseudonym Richard Bachman. It would go on to make just over $62 million worldwide after being moved to avoid Predator. Got fairly mixed to maybe positive reviews. Over time, it's gained cult status, regularly cited for how accurately it anticipated reality TV, media manipulation, and entertainment as punishment, long before those things became, well, kind of normal. AJ, tell me about your history with this movie.
I've never seen this before in my life.
What?
So I was quite excited going in. First time. I was quite excited going in, but aren't we all? 20 years later, 2 kids, married. Sorry, I meant the film. Sorry, no, I was quite excited going into this film. Very different to the book, of which I'm a fan, and I've read.
So you have read the book?
I've read the book.
Okay.
I've read an awful lot of Stephen King's, and Richard Bachman, but Stephen King.
Are we saying Bachman or Bachman?
Well, I say Bachman, but maybe because I'm uneducated, I don't know.
We'll go Bachman.
I'll go Bachman. Bachman books. It was always that's what I say is the Bachman books. Big fan of Stephen King. Not really a big fan of the films that have been made of his books. I don't think a lot of them have been done particularly well. It is all right, but the book itself is stunning. Anyway, I don't want to go off on a tangent about Stephen King. That's maybe a standalone bit of a fast forward thing in the future about Stephen King and his books that have been turned into films. I've not seen it, so this is my first time seeing it, along with the new one, which we'll talk about in the fast forward.
I can tell you this, he quite liked the new one.
Yeah.
Fucking hated this one.
Did you like the new one? Well, no, later.
No, we'll get onto that for the next episode.
Later.
So, all right. Okay,
what about you? Have you seen it before?
Yes, this is one of those classic movies I watched too young, probably because my dad taped it off of the TV,
right,
and the VHS was like left around while he was at work, and so
like the other videos that he left lying around.
Exactly, like the Titfield Thunderbolt.
The Titfield Thunderbolt.
The Great Train Robbery. St. Trinian's, yeah. And so I looked into the rating for this, right? This is an 18 rated movie. The new one is a 15, by the way. And the BBFC guidance says it includes and I'm going to quote now, occasional use of strong language in which they've put on their website brackets F *** K, but also violence. And it includes, scenes include stabbings and impaling, electrocutions, a man's head exploding, a man being choked with barbed wire, and a sequence implying a chainsaw is being forced between a man's legs. There is also a brief sequence of attempted sexual assault. So, yes, that's an 18-year movie being watched by maybe a 10-year-old. I mean, this came out on VHS in 1989, right? That's 2 years after the film came out in the cinema, but it only came out in the UK cinemas 10 months after America.
Whoa.
Remember those days?
Yeah, right.
But I'm going to wait 2 years to be able to see this.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we were only talking about it recently, I think, in a podcast where, you'd have the premieres at Christmas time. It's 3 years after it's been in the cinema and you're well excited to watch it. Like, now, it's like a month later and maybe it's on Netflix or something like that, or Disney or wherever. Yeah, it's crazy.
I haven't seen this in a long time, but my overwhelming memory of it is all the sort of, it was being chased by the colourful killers, and I couldn't remember the beginning and I couldn't remember the end, but I do remember it being brutally violent, and it sort of is and it sort of isn't.
It is, isn't it? It's weird. I wouldn't have said this was an 18 in fairness.
Really?
It's funny that but then maybe that's because I've become accustomed to violence in films nowadays. I think there are more violent 15 films now than there are, than there was back in the day, kind of thing, I suppose. Did you enjoy it more this time around? Did it bring back good feelings? Did it bring back nostalgia, or did you watch it now and just go, Christ?
It brought back nostalgia. And there was moments where I went, oh yeah, this bit, that was great.
Yeah.
But it wasn't quite the movie I remembered it to be. And I think we will probably go into some of that as we go through.
Yeah, fair enough.
Do you want to talk about the start of the movie in your sort of typically theatrical fashion?
Absolutely, I can. Right, so you've got this great intro scroll. It's got that kind of 80s future font, I'm going to call it. Is it like generic like future font, but Terminator font? It looks like.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. It's got the Terminator font on it. 2017. They got the date wrong by a few years, but pretty close to the mark considering where we are, especially with our, Well, that's it. I wrote that it seems like modern day America in the opening crawl.
Basically, the way you say America.
And they want Arnie to sort of shoot on protesters and that kind of thing.
I know. It's like
classic free America.
Crazy. Helicopter. You got the amazing 3D mapping. You've got like the latitude and the longitude sort of XY vectors and all these little dots running around, and there's all the people. Lovely. You've got Arnie saying stuff in the phonetic alphabet. I mean, I've written here, you've got stuff, he's saying stuff in the phonetic alphabet. Great. I'm not sure it was great, though, actually.
The first appearance of Arnie is like some little animated character. Did you clock that right at the start?
No, I didn't.
Like a little it's like a running man, but it's clearly meant to be Arnie.
Is that supposed to be Arnie? Oh, right. I mean, isn't there like 5 of them, and the camera sweeps around them? It's that animated bit. Yeah, I didn't
remember.
Yeah.
But also, when you talk about the font, did you see how big the font was? The font was like the full width of the screen.
I know. It's crazy.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. And Arnie's getting clearly quite upset by being ordered to kill unarmed women and children. Some stellar acting going on there. He's like, no, I will not fire upon those people.
That I'm instantly recognisable as an Arnie impression.
I mean, it's not bad, is it?
Is it not?
I will not fire upon these people.
I'm in the chopper.
I'm driving the chopper. Oh, that's terrible. I'm going to stop now.
I thought we'd be better at Arnie. Do you know what? It's not going to be the last time we do it in this podcast, though, is it?
We're going to keep doing it. And then basically there's this crap scream as he gets dragged out of the pilot chair. His colleagues aren't particularly very nice, and because they're like, yeah, fire on them all, kill them all. And he's like, Christ, no, we can't kill them all. And then, I don't know what happens. He gets dragged out. And then suddenly, cut to this kind of gulag camp underground sort of movement. I love a good underground movement, a good resistance movement, that is. I mean, I like a good underground movement as much as the next man.
Is that a euphemism? I don't know.
I love a good movement. I'm a good two a day movement, you know.
The way his colleagues in the chopper turn on him does make you wonder, was he a bit of a git?
Maybe. I mean, it was very instant, wasn't it? I mean, they're obeying orders. They're not like, oh, should we, shouldn't we? It's like, no, kill the people, kill them now.
Just obeying orders? That doesn't sound like modern day America.
Not at all those ICE agents. Yeah, anyway, moving on. Feels like a precursor for the Hunger Games, sort of televised suffering and all that. It sets it up pretty quick. You know, he's in the chopper and then suddenly he's in a prison camp with a beard, carrying that big sort of I-beam RSJ thing. Like, I'm really strong. Look at me carrying his I-beam.
I made a note of him carrying that girder by himself, and it's a nod. He did the same thing in Commando with a log.
Do you know, here's the thing you'll love. I've never seen Commando.
Do you know what? I've seen it, but not since I was a kid, not since I was about 10 years old, watching appropriate movies like that. And that would have been one my dad did show to me.
Wow.
But yeah, I quite like Arnie with a beard.
It like came on with a beard. It's like, I like that. I like that. It's a shame he doesn't or hasn't done that more.
Yeah,
it's quite a good bit of growth. That no, I like it. So yeah, you know, you've got him doing that, and then I mean, it cuts. I mean, I was going to say basically that's the beginning of the movie. You know, I could go on and where do you stop, kind of thing.
Exactly. Well, yeah, about there sounds about right.
Right, there you go.
Before he gets into the latex or spandex.
Yeah.
But let's talk about how this movie came to be. This one takes a sharp left turn somewhere between page and screen. So it starts with the Stephen King, Richard Bachman book that you've read and I haven't. But apparently the book is pretty bleak and more than the movie. Very
much so. Yeah. I mean, it's a nod to the book, this movie. The following film is much more like the book, which we'll come on to later on in our fast forward. But the premise is the book. But there's not much in here about the book.
So originally it was going to be more authentic to the book, and it was going to be directed by George P. Cosmatos, one of your Greek lot.
Yeah, right.
He did Cobra, Rambo 2 and Tombstone. And it was going to have Christopher Reeve in the lead role, and it was going to be more about the father desperate to help his sick daughter, which is, like you said, what the 2025 version does.
And a lot more like the book, yep.
Yeah. But Cosmatos, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, Cosmatos, left because of budget arguments, and he also wanted to set the whole movie in a shopping mall, which sounds a bit tricky. But Christopher Reeve left because the whole thing got massively delayed and he had other commitments. So in comes Andrew Davis, the director of Under Siege and The Fugitive.
Whoa, Under Siege. Whoa, what a great film.
I was say The Fugitive, what a great movie. But
and that. Well, no, but Under Siege is
at
classic.
At the time,
for the time, you know.
When Elenia Aroniak comes out the cake. Remember that bit?
Oh, God, I do. Of course I remember. I mean, to be honest, that's why it's a great film, you know.
The most paused bit of your VHS.
It's just been paused quite a lot.
But Andrew Davis got rid of after only a week or two, and Glazer was brought in. Now, Arnie didn't support that decision. He felt Glazer treated it like TV, because obviously he'd come off Starsky and Hutch, and he missed all the thematic potential. But Glazer said he was approached originally and turned it down because he felt there wasn't enough time for pre-production. But anyway, he got the job in the end. So then the script got completely rewritten, and Stephen D'Souza, who did Commando, Die Hard and Street Fighter, among other things, he went through 15 drafts, and it gradually became this bigger production with more stunts, more set pieces and more dancing, and less of that sort of bleakness of the book. Basically, it was rewritten to be a Schwarzenegger campy 80s classic, which is what we get.
Yeah, it's exactly what we get. And he is, you know, Schwarzeneggering it up to the max. Really.
But can you imagine this with Christopher Reeve?
I could imagine. Do you know what? I could imagine the new one with Christopher Reeve. So therefore, the original book as Christopher Reeve. Yes, totally. I couldn't imagine this particular film with Christopher Reeve. No, it's just not right. This is no. I couldn't. No, not at all. And it's funny because in the book, he's just a really ordinary guy. I mean, he's quite a sickly bloke. I think he's not strong. I don't think he's either particularly tall either, if I remember rightly.
Well, that's the problem they had, and Stephen D'Souza was saying the reason he did so many rewrites is that Arnie just didn't make sense as that kind of character.
Right.
Because he's such a big guy. So you end up having to sort of change his motivations. And he said it didn't seem realistic that this big muscly guy couldn't get a job and would be sick. So they changed all that start of it.
Was that like a studio thing saying, look, you're going to have Schwarzenegger, because it's a bankable star, so make it happen?
I couldn't find anything out about how he ended up getting the job, really. Anyway, let's talk about the cast. Let's start with Arnie. We can't go anywhere else other than Ben Richards.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. What do you think? You're coming into it cold, so I'm intrigued.
Yeah, not his finest moment.
Really?
Well,
okay.
Look, Arnold Schwarzenegger's, we love him, right? Mm-hmm. Bless him, he can't act for toffee. He's not going to be doing Macbeth anytime soon.
Now I want to see that.
I actually now want to see that. Now I've just said that. Is this a dagger?
As a Christmas short.
Is this a dagger I see before me? I don't know what that is. That feels like African warlord.
Is this a dagger I see before me? He's crept in. Sorry.
It's not his greatest work, but I think also the script doesn't help because, man, he has got all of the cheesy one-liners. Basically, it's like they took Roger Moore and all his cheesiness and said, right, read these. Okay. And it didn't really do it for me, but, whatever.
The script must have been, it was like a contest of how many one-liners can we cram in.
It just got, and the thing is, it got exponentially more and more towards the end. I don't know if you noticed that. At the beginning, it wasn't too bad, but it just kept, towards the end, the last third, it just, every other paragraph was a one-liner. Like, guys.
If this movie came out now as a parody, like an Austin Powers almost, of 80s action movies, that you go, fucking hell, that's spot on. And you think there was never this many one-liners back in the day, but it's a joke. I really picked up the one-liners. There were so many of them, and I wasn't, I do love, like, a Roger Moore, he got the point. Yes. That kind of thing. Absolutely adore it. I still enjoy it with Arnie. It's all right.
It's fine. It is what it is. It's cool. And
there is a trend with Arnie that in his 80s movies, he always seems to end up in like a big chair being injected or drugged or having his brain wiped or something, like he does in Total Recall and in this.
But Total Recall, he's great in that.
What a movie!
What a movie! I'm up for doing that at some point.
We're
going to have to do that because I watched it recently.
You made me wish I had three hands. God, we're really going to go off topic with just quote Total Recall.
Oh my God! But the thing is, he's great in that because he does play a guy that doesn't know what the hell is going on, and he does it really, really well. So, and I say he can't act very well. That's really bad of me. It's the same way that Keanu Reeves can't act because but. You know what I'm talking about, but you hire him to do that particular role, and he does it really, really well. So there is an argument for the films he's acting in. This wasn't one of the good ones, basically.
Well, also you could have had, instead of Arnie and instead of Christopher Reeve, interested in the role were Dolph Lundgren.
Oh yes. Totally could have seen that.
I'm trying to think of a Dolph Lundgren impression and I can't do it. If he dies, he dies. It's just Arnold.
Basically, it's sort of Swedish, Danishy kind of. Yeah, it's all sort of Europeanish.
Yeah. Don Johnson from Miami Vice.
Oh wow, yeah.
And one of our 80s go-tos, Patrick Swayze.
Oh yeah, that would have been cool. No Kurt Russell.
Not in the list that I saw.
Oh.
Well, hey now, Killian. I only run as fast as I can see.
Excellent.
Amber Mendez, played by Maria Conchita Alonso.
Yes.
Is that racist? It's not racist.
No, it's not racist.
It's just a accent.
Yeah.
What do you think of her?
I don't really have an opinion. She was there, and I don't. She filled it out, I suppose. I don't know. And then she got chucked into the game and stuff. And I don't know.
Well, let me introduce her like this.
Go on.
There's a scene early on when Arnold breaks into her apartment, right? And she's She's in her lingerie and she's doing some physical exercise, right? Mm-hmm. My partner watching this said, "Who works out in their lingerie?" And I'll tell you who. Someone who represented Venezuela at Miss World 1975.
10 years before.
Yeah.
Oh, fair play.
And she was also a singer with a gold album and a #1 song in 1979 under the name Amber, just like her character.
That might be why she was written into the script as writing the music then. And all the theme tunes, and had a great piano in her house.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
It does.
She'd also go on to star in Predator 2, among other things.
Okay, not seen it.
What?
Only seen the #1.
Oh, mate, Predator is brilliant.
Is it?
Yeah.
Better than 1?
I don't know if you can say better than 1, but I would say it's up there because they just go in a bit of a different direction. Danny Glover. I'm getting too old for this shit.
He's getting too old for this shit.
I think I'm much of you. I think she's in there, but nothing stands out really. I don't think she's not bad. But
no, fair enough.
I was going to say almost everyone in this movie sort of doesn't stand out. However,
yeah, go on.
I was going to say Damon Killian, Richard Dawson.
Exactly. So I was just going to say Richard Dawson, brilliant. I mean, yes. For me, stand out, love him, just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I like the film much more because he's in it.
He's a great bad guy because he brings a realism.
Is he a bad guy? Is he a bad guy?
Well, this is the thing.
He's
not
just
110% evil, but he's a bloke doing a job who's a bit twisted.
Yeah, he's just doing his job. I mean, if he wasn't doing his job, he'd be on the Running Man, or he's just got lucky. I don't think that he's a bad guy. No,
I think he is like the audience, that they're just kind of numb to what actually is going on. I mean, he's a bit more inside, kind of covering up some of the murder, but
Did you know that he was British?
No.
Right.
What?
So, deep dive. Richard Dawson's British. He was born in Gosport. He started as a stand-up comedian in the UK and featured on the BBC as like a young and up-and-coming artist doing stand-up and stuff like that. And he moved to the US like in the 60s, I think, and started doing game shows and hosting game shows. Family Feud he hosted. Yeah. So he was a game show host, but he's British.
Not related to Les Dawson, is he?
That I don't know.
Similarity there.
That would be interesting because there is a similarity there, isn't there?
Did you know many people who worked with him on Family Feud say that in real life he was a bit like his character in his handling of some of the staff?
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. But
and he's quite a long time friends with Arnie as well.
That's the thing, because Arnie suggested he play Killian because they knew each other or they were friends or something like that. And Schwarzenegger was a fan of Family Feud or whatever. I mean, but yeah, British guy, born in the UK, born in Gosport. Wow. How about that?
Burt Reynolds was offered the role.
Oh, I could totally see that. See that. Yeah.
But he turned it down when he told he wasn't going to be high enough to up the bill.
Amazing. What a guy.
Such a Burt Reynolds response.
I know, isn't it? Just. Right, no, you can't feature with your moustache.
Yeah. But I really like his character. It really grounds it for me. Really takes this ridiculous thing and makes it a little bit more believable.
Totally. Would you believe that the bloke playing Captain Freedom isn't just a wrestler turned actor?
Politician.
Jesse Ventura was in the US Navy underwater demolition team.
I think I did know that.
No way. I had no idea. I thought it was amazing. What? He's a diver. He's a Navy diver. And then he was in the WWF. I did a deep dive into him, and then I thought, I'll just have a look at some of the guys that were playing the bad guys, the actual bad guys. And it's just reading about this guy. He was a diver in the Navy, because that immediately piqued my interest, obviously, because Navy diver. And then he was a wrestler in the WWF, and then he went on to become the governor of Minnesota. He won, that, and he's a Green Party supporter as well. He endorsed the Greens.
I thought he was quite heavily Republican.
No, not at all, not at all. And it's just like, God, you've got this big masculine guy who supports the Greens. And it's like, yes, mate, absolutely.
As a wrestler, he's a former wrestler and he was a commentator and stuff. He was a character that was very large in my life as a kid.
I was just going to say, because you watched wrestling, right? I never really got into wrestling. I was aware of like The Rock and Scotty 2 Hotty and I vaguely remember, like, who's the bloke that's just left wrestling? The You Can't See Me, or Now You Can See Me,
John
or
Cena.
That geezer with the shorts. He wears the shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a sort of skater. Shorts and knee pads.
Also an actor.
Well, yes, also an actor. That's all I know about wrestling. But I know
we'll talk about wrestling in a bit.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What about Live and Let Die? And star of that, Yaphet Kotto, playing William Laughlin.
Yeah,
I can't help but see anything but Dr. Kananga.
All I can see is Kananga, right? As soon as he came on screen, it's like, oh, it's Kananga. You know, that's it. I couldn't tell you what else he's in or anything about him, to be honest.
Well, he was in Alien.
Yes, he was
But
in
he
the
wasn't
white.
Kananga to me in Alien. He was just that character.
Dude, do you know what? I didn't think about that at all. He is an alien. Fair play.
I think as part of that sort of trio of running men, I think they were a bit underwhelming, and I'll talk more about it later. But, you know, considering you've got this guy who I love from Live and Let Die in this movie, didn't do much for me. Now, I'm going to talk about one of my most memorable characters, and I will talk more about him later because I've got plenty more to say about him. But I just want to say this about Erland van Leijten-Yoda, to put this in people's minds before we get to it later.
Dude, go on. Yeah, go on.
So Erland van Leijten-Yoda plays Dynamo.
No. You've not read the full name.
Is that not the full name?
No. Erland Philip Peter van Leijten-Yoda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yes. You have to get your tame Dutch person in to tell you how that's actually pronounced.
All I want to say about now is some of his background. Right? I don't necessarily want to get into the character, but him as a human being, and this is largely just nicked from Wikipedia. After graduation, he worked in Manhattan as a computer professional while also attending the 1976 Summer Olympics in Montreal as an alternate in the heavyweight division on the wrestling team. His preparation for the 1980 Olympics in Moscow was cut short when the United States boycotted the event. He also won bronze medal in the international competition held in Tehran in 1978. And aside from being a wrestler and an actor, Erland van Leijten-Yoda was also an opera singer, and he performed the Mozart aria from The Marriage of Figaro himself.
Yep, he did.
Now, unfortunately, he died months before the movie came out, age 34, of a heart attack.
I saw that he died. I didn't realise it was before the movie came out. That's a real shame, because I would actually like to see him as a comic actor in a lot more films, because I really liked him in this quite a lot.
Yeah. He was one of the most standout memories as a kid.
Dutch royalty as well.
The Leijten-Yoda family.
Yeah, exactly. Apparently.
That's what I thought.
Again, you'd have to ask your tame Dutch person. You know.
Everyone likes the schmuck and the pancake.
Oh, yeah, the Leijten-Yodas. Yeah, mate. Everyone knows that. Yeah.
That's all I want to say for now. I just thought, what an incredible backstory to this slightly comic character.
He reminded me of Meatloaf in Rocky Horror.
Yes,
he had that kind of over-the-top, operatic, half-naked running around kind of vibe that just was great. I really liked the comic relief that he brought to it. Yeah.
Talk to me about Mick Fleetwood.
Right, okay. The first time I realised that Mick Fleetwood and Drizzy Zappa were in this film were the opening credits. And I had to rewind it and go, is that the Mick Fleetwood who was born in Redruth? And, you know, well, he's also famous for playing drums in some band who are, you know, I don't know, they're all right. But obviously, you know, he's famous for being in Redruth.
And being in Fleetwood Mac, sure.
Well, I mean, you know, no one really talks about Fleetwood Mac, but, you know, everyone knows he was born in Redruth, especially if you're from Redruth, because that was about the only thing that's ever happened of any relevance in Redruth. But there you go. Yeah, he was definitely in the film. It's quite cool that he was in the film. I don't know how he ended up in the film. I don't know why he was in the film. I like the fact he talked about the cops that you burned my songs and threw me in jail or something like that in one of his lines. So, you know, referencing the fact he's a musician. I want to know how he ended up in that role, because I couldn't find out any information like that. Like, how did Mick Fleetwood end up in this film? Was he like producing, like part bankrolling it a little bit? What's the score there? I just don't know.
Well, I don't know, but I know that his performance is better than the 1989 Brit Awards.
Really?
Do you remember that?
No.
He presented them with Sam Fox.
No.
And the two of them were just a complete disaster.
I have no knowledge of this.
If you want to kill 5 minutes, go and YouTube that.
I obviously need to immediately go and do this. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you mentioned the line about burning my songs and stuff. So there's a theory, and it's sort of hinted that Mick Fleetwood plays himself in the movie.
Oh, he definitely does, because they call him Mick.
Yeah, well, that's it. They call him Mick. He's British, and then, like, you know, he makes the joke about the songs, you know, and he's there hanging out with Dweezil Zappa.
You know, like, I don't know what the score was. I really don't, or if, I don't know, they bumped into each other at a soundstage or something. It's like, oh, can I be in the film, or do you want to be in the film?
And they've aged him up as well, right?
They've really aged him up. Like,
which, you know, he's not the most youngest looking fella at any point of his life, as far as I can understand.
And I don't think they've done it particularly well. I don't think the prosthetics and the makeup are particularly good.
I wonder if that's a victim of you watching it on a modern screen in modern definition.
Maybe modern definition.
Yes, but I think his performance is all right. Like it ups and downs for me a little bit. At times, I just think if you didn't know who it was, you wouldn't really question his performance.
Mm-hmm.
But Arnie calling him Mick really takes me out of it. Like, it's funny, but it's fucking ridiculous.
It's just, I don't quite understand what he's doing there, but it's kind of cool. Why not? You know, obviously I know and love him as a drummer in Fleetwood Mac, but he just so happens to be in this film for a bit part, and that's cool. You know, yeah.
Anyone else on your cast list that you want to talk about?
Not really. No.
There's only one I was going to mention then, and that's Kurt Fuller playing classic Kurt Fuller. You don't know who Kurt Fuller is, do you?
No, I don't.
He's the bloke who's also in Ghostbusters.
Oh, yes.
But this is his first ever film, so he sort of defines the Kurt Fuller template for himself here.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, let's talk about the visuals. And I'm going to start with...
Go on.
The cityscapes in this look great. I'm assuming they're like mats or something, but they look really good.
I guess so. I can't see there anything other than that, but they look cool. Yeah, totally agree.
Oh, you do think they look good? Okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I've got that down actually. Whether they're matte paintings or what the score is with them, but yeah, no, I really like them.
They're definitely not CGI or anything because it's too nice. It just looks too convincing.
Yeah.
But there was like there's some 80s lightning in here, which isn't bad either, to be fair. And I assume that's hand drawn as it used to be.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It must be, I reckon. Next to that, I've got the sets. It like when the first sort of game bit they go into, and it's in the ice rink. And I got two things to say. Like, on one hand, this is like, God, that's awful. It just looks crap. But on the other hand, it's actually brilliant. And I know that sounds really weird. It's just, I feel the sets are like just random places, and it feels great. It feels budget. That's the thing, and it feels budget. And it's really weird because it's got 27 million budget. So it's not really budget, is it, when you consider what Terminator was?
Well, it makes me wonder how much of that was Arnold's fee.
Oh, that's a good point, actually. Because he was quite an established bloke, wasn't he, at this point? During Terminator, he wasn't.
I think the interesting thing about the sets is, I think the game show sets and all those kind of things look wicked.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just look really cool. Mm-hmm. And then anytime they're outside, it feels like they must be on a really small soundstage, and they can't show the scale of it, so they're always just by a bit of a rock or by a bit of a building or something. There's no scale to anything else.
No, they're down some street or some side bit or somewhere kind of thing. There's no big open spaces. Yeah, you're right. The only time there's a big open space is when they're sort of on that construction site doing their gulag time, and I don't know, people are welding bits and pieces and carrying bits of, I-beam around,
And one thing that looked really great in that is the head blowing up as he runs past the perimeter.
Yes.
I thought that was great.
Oh, yes. That was good.
How good did that look?
Yeah.
Interesting that this is the future. So my partner, who was not alive in the 80s, said, why does the future still look like the 80s? Which is a valid point. I mean, you've got leotard dancers dancing to electro pop with rock guitars, and I sort of see a point, but that is like seeing the 80s future from the future. If you're watching this in the 80s, I guess maybe it does look a bit futuristic.
Yeah.
But There are a load of 80s cliches. I mean, we talked about the Terminator font, and then you got things like that robot woman whose voice is sort of reading things out that you can already see on screen.
Yes. Yeah.
What did you think of the 80s future?
Ah, man, I mean, it's a classic 80s future, isn't it? That's the thing. It's like, when I was saying, the Terminator, looking at the Terminator set or looking at this set or whatever, it was classic 80s. And I think that had a lot to do with the budget, and it had a lot to do with what was going on at the time or what people expected at the time. You run with what works. And I think you've got into 87 at this point, and 87. And we know what's been working, what people have been turning up to the cinema to see, so we're going to keep it the same kind of thing.
I just think of, like we mentioned before, Total Recall, and how good the future looks in that.
It looks more modern, doesn't it? It looked like... So I'm a big lover of what's called cassette futurism. There's a great Reddit hole you can go down about cassette futurism. I'll leave you and anyone that's listening to this to go and check it out, but it is very, very cool, cassette futurism. And it's very sort of 80s. And yeah, Total Recall's got that in spades. This one, I think they were possibly constrained by their budget in a big way, but I didn't dislike it. That's what I was saying about the sets, that it feels budget, but I really like it, like the car that, that guy, Dynamo drives around in. Oh God, it's fucking awful. It's great fun. It's just flimsy crap prop that my son could have made, but actually it's great fun. It's really, really cool. It just works because it's a game, and yeah, there's something about it I like.
I mean, Dynamo's look is mental.
Oh, it's Tron Light.
Yeah, oh my God, that's fucking kind. It is like Arnie calls him, "Hey, Christmas tree."
Yes,
and that's it.
That's one of my lines.
Some fucking lights around the bloke. I mean, he looks weird. He sounds weird. He gets called Light Bulb, Christmas Tree.
Yeah.
And then the poor fucker ends up at the end trying to commit a sexual assault in his fucking big man baby pants. I mean, the poor bloke.
I know. I didn't need to see that when he
dies.
Over.
I mean, yes. Fortunately for him, he dies before the movie comes out and has to see what it is. But fucking hell. So yeah, I think just moving on to sort of the costumes and that production design, I think the design of all the Stalkers are pretty good. And the design all round, with the exception of Dynamo, and unless you're deliberately trying to make him a bit of a character ridicule, I suppose.
I suppose.
Like, why did he drive up that hill that he drives up and flips the car? Like,
it just, I know, it's a
stupid move.
It just didn't make sense, did it?
I don't see how he's going to kill anyone, let alone Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But then you say that, like, the other guys are okay. I mean, Buzzsaw's kind of cool. Who's the guy with the flame? What was his name?
The
flamethrower bloke. I forget
Fireball.
his name. Oh, Fireball. There you go. I don't know. Thought with his rocket tanks and rocket propulsion, it's just, oh God, when he takes off, it's like, oh no, that's very Thunderball, isn't it? With that jetpack. Just doesn't do it for me at all.
I just had visions. It took me out at this point because I just had a vision of the bloke trying to do that as a practical stunt on set, and sort of he looks a bit uncomfortable, like he's fearing for his life, like there's a rig that's just about to fail behind him or something. What do you think of the costumes for like Arnie and the runners?
Oh man, those yellow padded jumpsuits, brilliant. I love them because they're just so bombastic and great. And they're really hard wearing, considering he's been dragged up and down a stadium behind a car like 3 or 4 times. He stands up and there's not a scratch on him. Like, wow, I'd like one of those jumpsuits, please.
When I saw this as a kid, I don't think it was maybe the VHS cover, but it looked like Arnie was just stupidly thin, like his sides come in because of you got that sort of blue design cut out on the sides. And it was just like, God, that looks so weird.
Yeah.
It was almost quite feminizing. I don't know if that's a word.
Feminizing.
So it made Arnold like this big, but maybe that was an design attempt to make him less of that big muscly guy.
Possibly. Possibly.
Jesse Ventura's wig, though.
Oh, I didn't clock that.
What?
No, I didn't clock that.
Oh man, that's one of the worst wigs in history. I almost feel like it's meant to be a bit of a shit wig.
I'm just trying to visualize it now. Yes. Yes, yeah.
Dear
I need to
me.
go and watch it now, or at least watch a few bits of him in it. Yes.
Good.
I quite like that though. If that is a wig, I mean, it's bound to be, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, he was on television regularly he wasn't bald. He was bald on top, but had like the rat's tail behind, if I remember rightly.
Excellent.
What do you think of Paula Abdul's choreography?
Quite sexual. Do you remember that Eric Prydz video,
Yes.
Call on Me? It's basically that. It's that. It's that.
Yeah, I mean, I quite liked it. I think that whole side of the film looks really cool. Whether or not it's a good thing for the movie, I'm not sure. But it's got a real vibe and energy about it. And like when it comes in, you're like, yeah, all right, we're moving along now. Like this is, there's some energy there, some spunk.
I don't want to know.
Don't know why I said that so aggressively.
You certainly did.
Should we move on to music?
I think we better had. No, I tell you what. There was one thing I wanted to say. It was just about the editing, because we're talking about the visuals of the thing. Did you clock like the jump cuts of between like the cars driving past them, for example, and then they jump out of the way, and it's just so badly done. It's almost like they were pickup shots. Like they jump and then it cuts to them landing on the floor, and it's so disjointed that it's almost like, oh yeah, we forgot to shoot those, so we'll shoot them in pickup. And it's there
was a couple of janky bits. Yeah,
more than a couple. And it just felt very amateur, shall we say? But there you go. And I've got here, love the tunnel. Cool visuals. When
the tunnel they shoot down in the rocket car thing.
Yeah,
man.
That was cool. And it goes around a bend at one point, and it looks like they've done a thing with some sort of mirror or something. And I like that. And that just felt cool. Like, I really like that.
It looked real. It really is what I'm trying to say. It's like you could easily make that look over the top and, have their faces really being pulled back and all that sort of exaggeration. But it just looked fast and furious.
Yeah.
I don't want to go there, but I can't think of another word to say.
I want to have a go on it.
I wouldn't, but I something I was going to bring up in the fast forward. The new movie does not do that well.
No,
this is done very well.
It is. No, I like that a lot. Yeah, there you go.
Music then.
Cool. Should we go with the credit song?
Oh, do you want to go there straight away? Okay.
Well, why not? That's all. Yeah. In honesty, that's all I've got written down.
Okay.
That's all. So that's why we're going straight there, if you want.
So to set this up, Amber comes out of the game show studio to meet Arnie, and they've fucking defeated all the bad guys and exposed all the lies. And the two of them, well, they kiss, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
And then this song starts playing.
Mm-hmm.
And it just feels fucking wrong. Like, Arnold Schwarzenegger should not be on screen to a soft rock ballad.
Mate, I thought this was probably one of the best bits of the film.
Oh, God.
I love this. Because often the credit songs are crap. And I'll give you the fact that the credit song in GoldenEye wasn't the best. The rest of the soundtrack was stunning. But I'll give you that, the end of GoldenEye wasn't the best. This, absolutely fantastic. Absolutely
so we're talking about John Parr's running away with you.
And Harold Faltermeyer, just brilliant partnership there. I mean, St. Elmo's Fire, great song,
Sure.
And then this one, Restless Heart, I wasn't aware of it. And when it came on, it's like, oh, yeah. It sounds like the St. Elmo's Fire guy. Lo and behold, it was. I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I listened to it for the duration of the credits. Like, yeah, I'm into this. And then Netflix
I couldn't
did that
switch
thing.
it off quick enough.
Oh, that is such a shame. Netflix did the thing where it went into that little box and then played the next thing or whatever. So I had to then go and find it on Spotify, and I've listened to it.
Fucking stop doing that. All streaming services. If I want to watch the fucking credits, fine, put up a little box that says skip or something, but don't shrink the fucking thing down and automatically move on.
I love watching the credits, and I think it's respectful to watch the credits of a film you've really, really enjoyed, just to see all the people that have been a part of it. I think credits are a huge thing, because there's all the people that made it happen. And yes, I want to know who the accountants were. I want to know who did the catering. I want to know who the apprentice best boy dolly grip gaffer is.
I just want to look for names I recognise to talk about on this podcast. But look,
telephone answering man number 3.
Yeah. I love me some soft rock ballads. All right, it was the majority of my youth listening.
Yeah.
I just think a bit like with GoldenEye, it's the wrong thing at the wrong time in the wrong place.
I will disagree with you strongly on that one. I thought it was brilliant. I've listened to it on Spotify a couple of times since.
But yeah, like I'm not saying the song's bad, but like to have that playing while Arnold is being romantic makes me feel sick.
But it's a romantic soft rock ballad. When else do you want it?
But why do you want a romantic soft rock ballad at the end of a film about people being murdered on a game show? It's the wrong ending. There's no love. There's no romance in this movie. Why are we suddenly doing it at the end?
No, but they've exposed it. It's over.
Yeah, but it's not about a sexual man and woman relationship. This movie in not even 1% of it.
I liked it. So there. That's it.
Yeah.
Go on. That's all I got about music.
Good. Well, let's just talk about Harold Faltermeyer.
Faltermeyer?
Harold. Let's talk about Harold.
Harold.
Infamously did Beverly Hills Cop.
Yep.
I didn't remember that he did Top Gun.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I had a bit of a deep dive into Harold F. Mm-hmm. He produced albums for people like, here we go, The 3 Degrees, Donna Summer, Billy Idol, Jennifer Rush, Pet Shop Boys, and more and more and more.
That's quite a few people. Fair play. Billy Idol, what a guy.
Yeah. I mean, I was torn on like the soundtrack and the score because it's one of those difficult ones. It's always been there, right? I've never questioned it because I didn't know any differently. Apparently, it gets a lot of hate from people for being tonally wrong and too poppy. It doesn't stand out to me as being good or bad. I sort of went back and listened to some bits of it on the soundtrack earlier, and it's got some like 80s electro darkness to it, and sometimes it reminds me a bit of the soundtrack to Big Trouble in Little China. And I quite like the game show promo music bits. I feel like he's got those right.
Do you know what? I didn't notice the soundtrack, and I think we've said this before. I didn't really notice it, so therefore I don't think it was out of place because it didn't make me go, "Ooh, this doesn't feel like." This doesn't feel right, or I didn't go, whoa, this soundtrack's brilliant. There's some bass that I really like, or whatever. I just didn't notice it, and I've written nothing down about it, so I don't think it could have been bad.
That's the thing, is that, watch the whole movie. Nothing stood out musically as being wrong until that last song comes on at the end. The main theme music for this, created by Harold, was apparently, I don't know how true this is, it was apparently lifted note for note from the theme music for one of his earlier works, Midnight Express in 1978. Do you know that movie?
I don't at all.
And I went and tried to listen to the theme for Midnight Express, and I'm not convinced I'm listening to the right thing, but I don't think it sounded the same. So,
right.
Yeah, I think I got that from IMDb.
Right.
Anyway.
God, yeah, no, didn't go that deep into music, I'm afraid.
Let's move on to talk about the things we want to talk about.
Right, okay, go on, I'll kick it off.
I've got about 5 or 6.
I've got about the same. And this, I should have brought it up in the costumes, really, but I just want to know who in the wardrobe department was smoking crack to basically, right, what we're going to do is, bear with me, gas masks, sunglasses, and baseball helmets. All right, beautiful. And it kind of works. Spray them all black, and it's
a bit of Future Stormtrooper.
It is definitely Future Stormtrooper. It's kind of cool. Budget Stormtrooper. I'll go with it. I kind of liked it. I thought those.
What have we got in the props room that won't have to cost us any money and chuck together?
It really felt like that, but yeah, go for it. Why not?
Yeah, no, I liked it. It's the wrestling bit I was going to talk about.
Okay, go on.
So there's a few connections to wrestling at the time, which was huge, right? Late 80s.
Was it massive then? Oh, right.
The WWF was like, I want to say borderline peak.
Oh, okay. I thought it was peak when I was a kid. When I was
I'd say maybe it's just about to shift into that top gear.
Mid-90s, early noughties. I thought that's when WWF... Well,
maybe you can call this the beginning of the of the peak, maybe the shifting into the peak.
Hogan was big then, ripping his vest off and all that jazz.
That's it. So we've got Jesse Ventura as, what's he called, Captain Freedom or something.
Yes.
And so he was a former wrestler, as we said, but he was still at the time, I think, a commentator and a character on the show. And not only that, but then you get people like Buzzsaw in this movie come out, and they're like introduction. I think he gets out of a car or something, and he's basically sort of doing a Hulk Hogan. He's got that kind of vibe and big WWF energy about him.
Yeah.
And all those hunters, so you've got Sub-Zero, Buzzsaw, Dynamo,
yes,
and Fireball. They're like they're not characters as much as they are gimmicks, which is exactly how the WWF packaged its kind of talent back in the 80s. You know, you've got these one-note identities. You've got like costume first, personality second. You've got these catchphrases and poses and entrances, and they're designed to be like instantly readable on TV. And then like the film's like game show structure just mirrors those kind of wrestling broadcasts. You've got these exaggerated villains, this heroic Arnie babyface, and then the audience is like trained to cheer on this violence as entertainment. It was just, it's such like a parallel for me of the WWF at the time.
Sure.
And for teens of the 80s, I wasn't a teen in the 80s, but you know, for those sort of kids that are growing up on this kind of violence as entertainment, this was like a bridge from WWF into grown-up movies.
Was it broadcast in the UK then? Were people aware of wrestling? Not, I know people. Yeah. I mean, Pat Roach and all that sort of stuff. You had wrestling in the UK, but it wasn't entertainment wrestling. It wasn't WWF.
Back then was definitely, it was Sky. I remember going around like my family's house, and they had Sky, which was like the only people we knew at the time who had Sky. Yeah, and they had the wrestling on. And it was like, fucking hell, you must be rich.
Yeah, dude, we all had that one friend or whatever had Sky. It's funny that you've mentioned the wrestling thing, because I've just said here, Buzzsaw, basically Hulk.
Yeah.
In my notes. And I've put them, Dynamo, electrical opera singer from Tron, all sort of wrestlers. So it's interesting, I've picked that up as well. It feels like there's a wrestling thing going on, and of course you knowing your wrestling and liking your wrestling much more than me.
Next on my list was just the idea of manipulation. The use of technology to digitally manipulate Arnie and deceive people is still kind of relevant now. Like, they manipulate the video of him killing the protesters at the start. And these days we've not only got CGI, but AI, and how modern politics is going to be in the US and the UK, where manipulation is sort of less necessary than ever, because you can just lie and people believe it. But we've just had the BBC get a bit of a telling off, potentially sued for manipulating Trump's words, which is the least necessary manipulation ever, but it's still an ongoing thing. I found that really interesting.
Yes, that was literally the next thing I was going to talk about, was that exact parallel. Literally what you've just said. It made me think about the manipulation that we've just witnessed firsthand, because I started writing this, I think, and started watching this film before that actually happened, and before it really broke out into big news kind of thing. And then I was writing these notes up, and I was writing down that you've got this manipulation that's in our lives, and with the corporations and the TV channels, and then the BBC, that's and a news channel that some of us trust, I suppose, and oh god, it's very real, and this is getting it pretty spot on quite early on. All right, I know it was first sort of written by Stephen King first of all, but still it's these films that are coming and predicting the future. It's not the first time we've touched on this. It's quite real. Skynet and all that jazz, and AI and all these sort of like crazy ideas from the 80s. Like, that's a real thing.
And I think this movie does it pretty well. I think it does better than the follow-up, which we'll talk about next week. But if I have a criticism of it, it's that I don't know why they didn't show the stunt double fighting scene, right, where they make out like it's Arnie doing the fight at the end when it's not. Why not show that from the point of view of like security cameras or something, rather than with these movie cinematic shots of being in there? Because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That's not how they're filming it. You want to see it as the audience sees it. So you sort of take away the BTS of them doing the maths, and if you didn't show that process, if we just saw that like the audience, it would have been this momentarily like cool what the fuck moment of the audience thinking Arnie was dead.
So
and we didn't get that.
So I read it was basically the test screening. That was how it was going to be, and with the audience test screened for it, they didn't understand what had happened, so they redid it, or they did some pickups, and that's why you've got it like it is. So it's funny you bring that up. It was because of some test screening that the audience that were watching it didn't really comprehend what was happening, kind of thing. And I thought it was weird that you didn't have I thought it could be cool that you had it on CCTV and you can see that those people, the real people, and then the shots on the actual TV screen, it's Arnie and her, but you can see it cuts between the two, and so you can see you've got the overlays of the face kind of thing, so what's
that confusion would have been good.
Yeah.
I wonder whether those test screenings, whether it was exactly how we saw it, but without the explanation, and they put the explanation in, like they filmed the, doing the matte kind of masking. Shame. That was like the one bit where I was like, this could have been way better.
Yeah, no, it would have been and that was purely down to test screenings. Yep.
Your turn.
I thought, I don't know if it's favourite scene. It's not a favourite scene. It's just something I want to talk about now. But it's
climbing. We come on to favourite scenes as a different section.
I know. Climbing for dollars. It's just funny. I like the different highlights of the TV shows that exist.
There's one on the wall called The Hate Boat.
Yes. Right.
Which I thought was a good twist on The Love Boat, which I think Richard Dawson presented or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know, to be honest. I just thought it was quite funny, these different TV shows that exist, because it is in the book. It is in the new movie, all these sort of different TV shows that you can do horrible things for cash. They don't really touch on it in this film so much, but I liked that advert, climbing for dollars. I thought that was actually really funny.
I think there was it's world building ultimately, and I think there was enough of it in this one to just about set everything up.
Yeah, absolutely. Go on.
Just another little critique, really. When Weiss dies, I just found that very underwhelming. And actually, I didn't know he died until Amber says it a bit later. And I had to rewind it and go, did I miss something? Because he gets electrocuted by dynamo. And, you see him get covered in the electricity and he sort of falls down. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't really get this kind of defined death moment. No. So I just assumed he was stunned or something.
I didn't know he was dead until she said, yeah. Oh, no, he's dead. Yeah. Oh, right, okay. Because she's having to memorise all of the, the numbers and stuff like that and what have you.
Yeah. And then Ben closes Yaphet Kotto's eyes, like, before he's probably dead. Like, he'd barely finished talking.
Yes, I know.
And both their deaths, I just thought, should have been more traumatic and motivating for Arnie to go and kick some ass. And actually, that's how I thought it went down. That was my memory of it, was that it was more vengeance for their deaths. Mm-hmm. But no, it was a bit like, a bit lackluster.
Mm-hmm. That's all I've got.
Oh, okay. A couple more from me. I just liked the twist of the winners actually have been killed. And not being in these nice hot countries where they tried to show them as being. That was a nice little flip. Did you see that coming?
No, I didn't. I didn't, and it was quite funny because that was quite gruesome. And they, into that locker room, and there's those two dead people, and what have you, or three, or however many, and then you find out like, oh yeah, this was last year's winners. Like, oh, okay, fine. So they all die anyway.
I mean, when I think about it, I just think you probably wouldn't leave them there.
Yeah.
but let's not get too deep into it. There was also a lawsuit. I'm just going to read this out from wherever I've nicked it from.
Of course there was. Hollywood wouldn't be Hollywood without a lawsuit. Let's be fair, for God's sake. So
the movie The Running Man 1987 was plagiarised from a 1983 film, Le Prix de Danger, brackets, The Prize of Danger, directed by, Yves Boisset. Which was based on Robert Sheckley's 1958 short story, The Prize of Peril. Just like the 1970 West German TV movie, Das Millionenspiel, The Million Game.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. It took the director of that 8 years to receive the due damages, which he claimed barely covered the costs of bringing the action.
They won?
Yeah.
Oh, but
that's what I find bizarre. Like, you've based it on a novel
book. Yeah.
And then gone, well, actually, I'll just rip this off of something completely different.
How weird. Right, okay, cool. That's interesting. I mean, that is strange. Like
from a movie 4 years before.
Yeah, totally.
Bizarre. Now, when we did the Bond episode recently, you asked an American in the audience, an audience of two, if the US had Gladiators, the TV show.
I did.
Well, in 2019, the Running Man screenwriter, Stephen D'Souza, told the New York Post that the film inspired TV's American Gladiators, which started in 1989, as well as the plot and settings of an arcade game called Smash TV. One of the producers of American Gladiators sold his show with clips from The Running Man telling the network, we're doing exactly... I'll do the accent. We're doing exactly this, except the murdering part.
Brilliant.
Yes.
So basically the Gladiators is the legacy from this film.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Amazing. So without the Running Man, we'd have no wolf.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And there you go. So basically, we had to have this, film, so my childhood was complete on a Saturday night.
Yeah, the Running Man walked so gladiators could run.
Amazing.
There you go.
I like that a lot.
Let's talk about the end of the movie.
Let's.
So this movie runs... Do you want to have a guess at how long this movie is? Because I wonder if you know.
No, I don't.
I know you've spent time watching it, but...
No, I didn't check how...
If you had to have a guess, what would you say?
96 minutes.
Oh, really? I would have said 2 hours.
Okay.
It's an hour and 40, so you're 4 minutes off.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it didn't feel long.
It's a good length. It doesn't feel drawn out, does it?
No, it's the, it's not 90 minutes, but it basically is the classic 90-minute get in, get out film. Rock and roll.
Get in, get out. Just a shame the ending's such a fucking damp squib. But anyway.
Well, the whole film is really. But, yeah.
Our heroes break into the studio. Arnie stuffs Killian into a rocket and fires him off down that tunnel, but for some reason he shoots into a wall and explodes.
Why does he explode?
I don't know.
Like, what?
Explosive advertising board?
I know.
But also, when everyone else comes out, I know they've got people there and they've got
I thought he was just going to get mobbed, basically.
Yeah, me too.
I thought he was going to go down there, he's just going to get lynched. And, but no, he just explodes.
That's the thing. That would have been a more sort of traumatic and interesting ending to have him mobbed, but it's the ridiculous 80s over-the-top ending to shoot him up and have him explode.
Yeah.
The thing is, how does it go up at that angle? Because everyone came out, was pointing down and he ended up shooting up. But anyway.
They all came to a stop and fine, and he just kept going and up in a trajectory that, 80s film, it's fine. 80s physics.
It's not as bad as when Ben and Amber kiss and then that soft rock song plays. Yuck. It's a horrible ending. What do you think about the ending, and what do you think about the ending relating to the rest of the movie?
Well, I thought the ending was, he explodes, but then obviously I can forgive everything because Restless Heart comes on. John Parr starts, his gravel voice, and it's just, love it. My only big question was just like why he exploded. That really just pissed me off. This kind of thing really pisses me off.
Hey,
there you go.
Did you find it a satisfying ending, given you spent an hour and 40 minutes?
No, no, it didn't really. I don't think I was really particularly satisfied at all by this film. But that's fine.
Well, don't spoil it yet. Don't give too much away.
I'm just giving it, teasing.
Teaser. Let's talk about favourite scenes and lines before you get too into it. There was loads of one-liners in this.
God, there was so many.
The very first one-liner is he throws the bloke over the railing and he just says, "I'll give you a lift," or something like that.
I know, it's almost like they're not trying.
It's so shit.
I've written here, "Hey, Christmas tree."
Yep. Yep. Say what you see.
Oh, God.
One I quite liked was
go
when they're about to... He's trying to kidnap her and take her on the plane to go to Hawaii. And she says she gets travel sick and is going to throw up on him.
Oh,
and
yes,
Arnie says, Go ahead. It won't show up on this shirt.
Yes.
I thought that was quite good because it's almost like Arnie being self-aware.
I know. Right, he's hacking into whatever he's hacking into, and he says, hey, it's a hexagon. He gets really excited. He's like, hexagonal decimal system. This is going to take some time. It's like, it's a what now? I had to listen to it again. It's a hexagonal decimal system. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I imagine he doesn't either.
Basically, it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah.
What about, I mean, this really took me out of the movie, and I sort of exclaimed wildly when Arnie says, "I'll be back."
I've got that with some exclamation marks and then in capital letters, what?
Yeah.
Because then he says, later, I told him I'd be back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Apparently it was going to be, I'm coming back, but obviously this is a throwback to the Terminator 1984.
Is it?
Well, that's what he says in that, right?
Oh, you know what? I wouldn't have guessed that if you'd not said that. Thank you so much.
Are you taking the piss?
I obviously am.
Fuck me. I'm trying to, explain this to the idiots that listen to this podcast.
No, they must be for listening to this podcast.
I mean, there's a couple on it, let alone listening to it.
I know, right? We love you, really.
Yeah. Well, I just wondered whether, people might think he says it in 1992's The Terminator 2. What year is that? We established just 93, 91. I always get it wrong. I get confused by the 2 in Terminator 2.
No, it's 91. It's definitely 91 because it was the same year the Bernard and the Genie was out.
Bernard and the Genie's going to get a regular mention, isn't it?
It's just like you do with Star Wars.
Yeah. Ding, ding.
I'm your court-appointed theatrical agent.
Yes, I had that.
It's great.
I think that's actually a clever line.
I really like that. I just love that. I think it's a funny take on your court-appointed counsel, or it's just I'm your court-appointed theatrical agent. Brilliant. I thought that was probably one of the best bits of the whole film. Actually,
yes, that's up there with me. It's
clever, funny.
It's got like a satirical kind of, you could see that being in a Total Recall or something that was a little bit more well written.
Yeah.
And then we've got things like when he kills Sub-Zero, he says, "Killian, here is Sub-Zero, now Plane Zero."
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Or when Amber says, "What happened to Buzz?" What's that accent? "What happened to Buzzsaw?" And he says, "Oh, he had to split."
Yes.
Fucking hell.
It's just, it is not good. The one-liners, they're not good at all in any way, shape, or form. None of it.
I do like when she says, Fireball enters, and she says, "Jesus Christ," and then he says, "Guess again."
Yeah. It's like Fisher Price, dear. My first Hollywood script.
Yeah. Well, I don't really have a favourite scene. I quite like the game show elements, but I was trying really hard to find a favourite scene, and all I could come up with is like it's not even a favourite moment. It's just a moment I found amusing, which is when Buzzsaw gets sawed up the balls, and he screams, but then the scream gets higher.
Really, I didn't notice that. Really,
it's like, it's like as if you're being cut up. From,
I quite like that.
Did you have any kind of favourite moment or scene? Or?
I like. I like and it's probably because it's the only bit that was outside and seemed to be filmed during the daytime. Was when they were trying to escape and they were trying to hack like the when that guy gets blown up. His neck gets blown off. I don't know. It's just I think it was just because it was a standout scene because it was daytime and outside. The rest of it's dark and nighttime, and
it just seemed a bit more grounded and like everyone was being a bit more authentic for me.
Yeah.
But I generally prefer movie things in the dark. Like we'll get onto it next week. But the new version of The Running Man, I thought I would have liked it to have been set at nighttime a bit more.
Mm-hmm. No, fair enough.
But you know what time it is? Time to rank it.
Right. Uptown Top ranking.
I knew you were going to do that.
I do it every time, don't I?
Yeah. In my head, I lump these in with RoboCop, Total Recall, and all those kind of really amazing 80s satirical dark visions of the future.
Mm-hmm.
But this rewatch made me realise it's not quite up there with those.
No, it definitely isn't. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Well, it's not difficult. Well, no, it's not difficult. I was expecting so much more. I thought it was like one of those classic 80s movies. I just never got around to watching it, so I was actually really looking forward to watching it, and I'm disappointed. I'm not totally disappointed. I'm
kind of disappointed.
It ticked a lot of the 80s boxes, and that's cool, but it wasn't like... It didn't didn't blow me away in any way, shape or form.
Where are you going to go?
Oh, man, I'm going to go C.
That's exactly where I'm going to go.
It's not a D. It's not total garbage.
No.
It's an 80s film. It was a product of its time. There were elements of it that were cool. I feel I could probably make this film myself.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if anyone wants to fund, our film, that'd be great.
I mean, just look at what you created in your garden there.
I mean, look at the. I mean, look the lighting.
Production.
I've got a little halogen light over there. I've got my little red camping head torch there, and little Christmas tree here.
Well, we both agree it's a C.
Yeah.
Now, time for some comments. Usually,
no. Hold on. I haven't got any comments. Oh no, it's all right. I'll get them up. I haven't.
Well, you won't have to.
Oh, okay. But there aren't any.
Well, usually there's no shortage of things our patrons want to say about these classic movies, but this time, no one really had much to say. Some hadn't ever seen it. Others hadn't seen it in such a long time. And it makes me slightly concerned that actually this is a movie that no one gives a fuck about anymore. And this episode's just going to get chainsawed through the balls.
Right. I mean, we've been talking about it for about an hour and a half now.
Yeah. I can tell you that, I mean, there's nothing of note that anyone really had to say from it, apart from Bardwell123 on Instagram said when the film is better than the book, which I thought is a hot take.
That is definitely a hot take. Yeah. No, I wouldn't. That's a take I wouldn't agree on at all.
I haven't heard many people say that, and I think I wonder when the last time they watched it is, because for me, I haven't read the book, but for me, without watching it for 20 years, I'd go, fucking great movie, probably S tier. I'll tell you one other comment that I can read out for you. Is this. See who you can guess who said this. I didn't care for the Arnold Schwarzenegger film that was made out of The Running Man very much at all. It's not very much like the book, and I like the book a lot. So I didn't like the movie, but I kept my mouth shut, and now the movie's gone. It shows up once in a while on cable TV, but otherwise, the book rules. It's in the bookstores, it's in print, and a lot more people ultimately are going to be familiar with the book than with the movie, because movies don't have the staying power that books have.
So someone that likes reading... I don't know.
Stephen King.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So when did he write that on our
He messaged, yeah.
Oh, good.
He WhatsApped me.
Good old Stevie.
Yeah, Mr. King. I have Mr. King in my contacts. Respectful.
I was in a bookstore today and I text you the book in Greek, funnily enough.
Oh yes.
And so it's being published. It's being put out again.
And that's in Greek.
That's in Greek, so it's been translated into Greek. Yeah.
God. Yeah. So there we go. Right. If you want more things about The Running Man, we'll both be back next week with the fast forward episode as we're looking at The Running Man 2025 with Glenn Powell. Yeah, taking over from Arnie. And who's directing?
Well, one of my favourite directors. I'm just trying to scroll down.
His name.
I have.
one of your favourites.
No, it's
his name.
Right.
Fucking hell.
Edgar Wright.
Yes.
There you
go. Got there.
I got that. It's late. It's late. I don't know what time it is, and I've had a few. It's Christmas, so I'm half cut. I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, I'm on the Snowball. I'm on the Vornings.
Evenings and mornings.
Yes, think Vornings. So yes, but what's next movie we'll be rewinding on the main show, you ask? Well, this season we're taking turns to surprise each other, and this time it's my turn to pick. And AJ, I will say this. A trailer park kid finds himself caught up in a war in space, only to return home to find out his girlfriend has been cheating on him with a robot version of him.
Ooh.
And actually, if anyone hadn't guessed, I'm actually going to give it away because I just want to excitedly shout about something, because the movie is 1984's The Last Starfighter, and joining us is going to be an incredible guest, the star of the movie, Lance Guest, who plays Alex Rogan.
That is so unbelievably exciting. And I'm a little bit pissed off that you keep getting on these guests and I'm like not around. It's like you interview all the guests that come on, like the guy from Tremors and Nick Helm and this guy, and it's like oh, all right. He's texted me the other day. It's like, oh, you won't believe who I just interviewed. It's like, well, you're a wanker. Fine. I mean, I'm the other half of this podcast. What do I get? I just get to find out about it in the post. I find out about it on our Patreon, which everyone should join.
Which you pay for.
But I
£5
do pay for, because it's the only way I get to find out the information of what's happening on our podcast channel. Anyway, please leave us a review on your podcast platform of choice, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, or whatever. It all really helps. You can also find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Rewind Classic Movies. If you want to drop us an email, it's rewindclassicmovies@gmail.com. And if you are a director or an actor that was in any 80s or 90s films and want to be interviewed by me instead of GB, please drop me an email as well.
Right, that's the show. Thanks so much for spending time with us. If you want to come hang out, get behind the scenes updates, bonus content, or early access to the episodes, then head over to our Patreon, where you can get a backlot pass for just $5 a month. We'll see you next week. Sorry about the mess. Say goodbye, AJ.
Backlot pass. I like that. Goodbye. Dun, 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 dun.
Fucking hell.
Oh, God.